everyone, this is Henny Espinosa with Just Wish Foundation. Today we are joined by Teresa Flynn Houghton, president of the Marillac Academy, which provides a tuition-free school education to students in the Tenderloin, south of Market, and surrounding neighborhoods in San Francisco. Thank you for joining us on Just Wish Foundation, Teresa.
Thank you for having me, Henny. I really appreciate the honor to be here today.
It's an honor for us. Thank you, Teresa. So, Teresa, tell us how the Marillac Academy was established in 2001. Now, the focus is on academic excellence in a values-based environment. Tell us about the roles of the Daughters of Charity and De La Salle Christian Brothers in the establishment of the Marillac.
Absolutely. In the late 90s, the Daughters of Charity and De La Salle Christian Brothers were co-sponsoring a high school in San Francisco, Sacred Heart Cathedral. And in that work, they were doing some strategic thinking about making sure that students are prepared for high school, all students who they want to have at Sacred Heart Cathedral. So they partnered with some lay partners who were also having conversations around the need for a middle school in the Tenderloin, because at that time there was no middle school in the Tenderloin. The Tenderloin Community School was just opening up for a K through 5th elementary education. So there was this wonderful opportunity to come together and to fill a need specifically in the Tenderloin to make sure that students coming from the Tenderloin and the families that coming from the Tenderloin have that opportunity to receive an education in their neighborhood. So it was built to be a neighborhood school.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about these students, these families, the population that the Marillac Academy serves.
We are blessed with a wonderful parent and student community. Our families are primarily living in the Tenderloin or Soma area. The idea is if students need to walk to school, it's accessible that way. Our students are coming from families where oftentimes the parents are recent immigrants to the United States or newcomers to San Francisco. Oftentimes they're our students are the first in the first generation in their family to receive sometimes a high school education, but oftentimes a college education. We have a very diverse community in terms of all of our students are students of color, and our families come from a variety of backgrounds and speak a variety of languages. And it's just a rich cultural traditions that we have in our school community.
That's great, because it's more than just empowering the student, it's the family as well, like you mentioned. That's awesome. So can you elaborate more on how your school is an all scholarship school? What does your funding model look like? What type of education do the students receive?
Yeah, so our funding model and our school model is a Nativity Miguel model. So it is a model where finances and financial resources are not a barrier for our students receiving the highest quality educational experience needed. So we have a holistic educational experience. Academics are our first priority, but the social emotional need and the faith development needs of our students and families are really included in the academics in the classroom. So we provide wraparound services such as counseling support, academic counseling, additional resources for families as needed. We provide support for our 8th graders transitioning into high school. And our model involves, we're nearly a year-round school. We have an extended school day, and our services really extend beyond 8th grade graduation. So we have a 15-year model. Our families come in for the first 5 years, they're here at the academy. And then as they transition into high school, we have a graduate support program, a staff that is working directly with the high schools to make sure that our students have what they need to thrive, and then also have the opportunities to really grow as young people. And as our students transition into their post-secondary, for most, it's going into a 2 or 4 year college. Again, we provide that support so that the additional support they need to transition into college and ultimately graduate from college.
Wow, it's really ensuring their success for the long run. So that's great. So in 2001, the Marillac opened with a class of 19 sixth graders. Now tell us how many students and families are being served by the Marillac today.
For sure. So we have 104 students in our fourth through eighth grade academy, and we have about 230 graduates that we serve in high school, college, and beyond. So our program serves young people from the age of 9 to 24 and their
Wow.
families.
Wow. Wow. So tell us about your impressive high school graduation rate as well as your college enrollment rate.
Yes. So again, we do everything we can to proactively and reactively support our students and families. So a big part of what we do is transition them into their high school experience. So making sure that if a student was receiving some type of academic or personal support while they're here, we want to make sure that that continues in high school. So if a high school can't provide that support, trying to find the resource is so the student has that support, regardless of if the high school can. And even there, we spend a lot of time working with our families to discern what the best fit might be for their student in terms of high school. We have a lot of great high schools in San Francisco, and so finding the right fit for a student is really important, and making sure that the families and the students know that they have choices. And so we want to make sure that they discern what the right fit might be for their student. So once you start with the right fit for the student, then they're already going to be set up for more success. And then again, continuing any supports that they receive. We want to make sure our students know how they learn and are good advocates for what resources they might need to be their best learners. And so we do all that work so that as they transition into high school, they have the skills that they need to be successful, and they know that they have many pathways. And so it's up to them to really choose what pathways they would like to take. So yes, so the last few years, we've had 100% of our students graduate from high school. And we really appreciate all of the hard work that the students and families do to reach that goal. It's their goal. And, again, we have most of our students will go on to a 2 or 4 year college career, but some students, they either go into trade schools or they go directly into the workforce. And so we celebrate all of those pathways, and we want to make sure that we do our best as an organization to support the students in those different pathways.
Let's talk about spiritual development. So I myself, I went to St. Scholastica's Academy in the Philippines from preschool to high school. And for me personally, that was such a big, that development part, that faith-based education is a big part of who I am today. Tell us how spiritual development is such a big part of your school and of your students, and why that's so important.
Absolutely. So we are a Catholic academy, though we do have students of all faith backgrounds, and we welcome. We're inclusive in that way, and we want to celebrate the variety of different faith expressions. We really want our students to know that they are beautiful, that they are loved, that they are images of God. And so that is a big part of that spiritual development, making sure our students see themselves in that way and then are seen in that way. We have fourth through eighth grade, our students have religion class. We do math and mass, and other religious celebrations. But again, it's really around making sure our students are developing their relationship with God, and then also going through a process to understand their identity as a reflection of God.
Let's talk about now action, developing students as service-oriented leaders. How does the Marillac Academy do that?
Sure. Our motto is enter to learn, leave to serve. And that comes from our Lasallian and Vincentian charism. So the brothers and daughters are co-sponsors. Both sponsors are really focused on service to others, especially folks who might need additional services. So in the way that we celebrate this, as our students come in, we remind them that service can be small acts of service or big acts of service. And that their calling, ultimately, we hope that they will choose a pathway, whatever it is, where they are looking at how they can help others in their career and their academics, in however they choose to live their life. This neighborhood is, the Tenderloin is a very, really human resource, and it's very much the energy and character of the neighbor to help others. And so our students are a product of this neighborhood and celebrate that. So we want to make sure that they understand that their purpose isn't just for themselves, it's
Yeah.
for their classmates, for their family, for their community. And so we really want them to share their gifts in service of others.
That's great. That's great. You're doing so much for these students, for their families, for the community in the Tenderloin, South of Market, the surrounding communities. What can the community do now to help you in your efforts, to help mold these young minds, to help develop these future leaders? What can we do to help?
Absolutely. We are a very much community-driven organization. So many folks from outside these four walls help make this organization great. And this organization has impacted the lives of so many people. So given our funding model, we do ask for support. So financial support every year, we raise our budget. And so we receive those gifts from community partners, from individuals, from foundations. So that's a big part of our funding model. But also, too, we have organizations that provide classes throughout the week. So we have a lot of pro bono support, volunteer support. Oftentimes, I always say, like, this is a volunteer-driven organization in a lot of ways because from our founding, so many people provided blood, sweat, and tears to make this mission what it is today. And so we're really reliant and appreciative of outside support. So there's a lot of ways people can participate. So volunteer support, just even telling our story, advocating for what we're doing, and then also financial support is always appreciated.
Yeah. For Just Wish Foundation, we believe that investing in young people in the future generation is so important, and education is such a big thing, and especially if it's a well-rounded, strong, faith-based education. That's something that we really support, and we're just happy and honored that we can support you in any way. And we hope that the more people learn about the Marillac, that they would also do their part and help. And like I said, these are our future generation, the future leaders of our of our country, and it's just awesome that you guys are giving them the education that they need to thrive. I think that's the word, to thrive. So more power to Marillac, Teresa, and to you guys, the volunteers and the staff at the Marillac. More power to you guys and what you guys do for the community. So thank you so much for sharing with us your rich history and your impact on the community.
Well, thank you, Henny. We really appreciate it. I want to say thank you to the Just Wish Foundation because, like you said, it's really a way for our name to get out, for our story to get told. And again, I think our students and our families are amazing. Our students are really going to change the world. We really believe that. So, if anyone is interested in stopping by for a tour, we are happy to host them. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, Teresa. Thank you.
Bye, honey.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you. Take care.